back again, and you know, when I'm making critical adjustments to the sound. If you're listening for RF and other things, then of course it's different. You can continue to listen to that as much as you like, but yeah, critical sound adjustments, I think 20-25 minutes, and then leave alone. Come back maybe with a good hour or more's break to reset the inner ear. That's what I find. The microphone this side, Alan, I'm using it's called a Lawton or Layton. You can say either way, but a Lawton Audio. It's an LT381 Oceanus. It's a dual tube condenser microphone. So 2 tubes in here, Alan. So yeah, fantastic microphone. Sadly now discontinued. They don't make them anymore, but very, very nice indeed. Took me a long time to find this one, second hand. When I got offered it, I just couldn't refuse. So that's the microphone, Alan. Microphone, back to you.
Okay, L381 condenser with valve. Wow, that's interesting. Now, if it's got valves in it and it's an older one, then the chances are that it's not an electric, but it's actually a condenser. Am I right?
Yes, dual tube it is as well. Actually, yes, it's the Lawton is spelled Lauten. It's a Lawton Audio, and it is it's just a beautiful microphone. I love the way it captures all the highs. It's got the I think the biggest diaphragm you can get of any microphone. It's huge, and it weighs a ton, an absolute ton it is. But it is a marvelous piece of equipment. I really do like it. And like I said, I was very, very lucky at the time to get it, to be honest, because one, they don't make them anymore, and they were, to buy new, extortionately expensive, very, very, very expensive. But yeah, just very, very lucky. Right place at the right time. I'm just looking for. Oh no, that's the Atlantis. I was looking for the Oceanus, and I can't find that one at the moment. There's plenty of bump on it on the internet about it, but I'm afraid at this precise moment I can't find any. Typically, but yes, a very, very nice microphone. Very, very nice indeed. Like I said, and it'll be with me. It'll come with me to my wooden box, Alan. I love it that much. Back to you.
Very good. Okay. Well, at least if it's valves and it's going in the box with you, make sure you've got a reasonable power supply, because the tubes will keep you nice and warm. And I'm just curious that when you say it's very heavy, the power supply for the valves I'm assuming, are inside the case, over?
No, it's an external power supply. No, the valves are not inside with it. No. Sorry, the power supply isn't. It's an external power supply that it comes with. Alan, back to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm not sort of putting valves into anything here in the shack, but I do downstairs in my hi-fi setup. I do have a preamp, which is a valve preamp. And it gives a very lovely, warm, comforting, a sort of soft audio. Very, very pleasant to listen to. Sometimes I put it on compared to the normal system, which is a hi-fi system, which I have, which is solid state, which is extremely good quality. Very, very good quality. Really super, but occasionally, you just feel you want something different in the way of hi-fi. But going back to what you were saying about, trying something out and then leaving and then coming back, you are so right. I was making some notes on my because I was so much aware of that that I was going to mention it perhaps before, that when you sit down and you start to listen and you watch and you compare and you decides that you spend more than half an hour, or even that to that extent, if you spend more than that time on it, you really need to discipline yourself and move away from it, and then come back again, and even in another day, almost. Well, certainly within a good period of time break before you come back to listen to it again. And if you don't, you just will keep fiddling with it until you think you've made it, a change to it, and then not realizing that you've actually, as it were, confused your hearing and confused your thoughts, and you then start to move knobs around which you really should not, and that's the whole thing. You've got to get to that point. In which case, taking your advice and what I was going to say, I'm not changing this at all now at the moment. In fact, even what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of my settings on this card. The controls are not very clear, but the picture will be, because although I've got the three controls, the actual indicator on the knob are the same color as the knob, so I can't always see exactly where it is. So I'm going to keep it as it is, and I will come back again tomorrow. I'll take your advice and what I have, and when I switch on tomorrow again, and it's fine and it's no change, then your advice is worthwhile there, Tony. Over.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think that's one of the best things you could do. I think is to maybe just have a break and then come back and listen to it all tomorrow. And I'm sure that you'll be pleasantly surprised. You've let your ear rest and let it sounds great. I like how it sounds. I think there's not too much of an issue with it, to be honest. Excuse me. Oh dear. I mean, you may listen again tomorrow and think, maybe a little bit more needs coming out of the mid-range, a little bit perhaps in the mids. I mean, it's one of the set of frequencies that I don't boost anything at all here. Everything is cut here, Alan. I don't boost anything. Everything's got cuts in it. So just because, I just think sometimes we need to take away the nasty bits and leave what is any good in our voices. So I tend to just cut, to be honest. No boosts at all in any of the EQ. So there you go. And it seems to work for me. Please excuse me. I've been doing too much talking today, so I'm losing my voice slowly. But no, it sounds very well. I think when you come back to it tomorrow, I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised how it sounds. G4GPL, M0 Victor Delta Oscar.
Quick break.
Go ahead, the break-in.
That's right. Yeah, I've just altered the antenna slightly here. Just wondered if I'm getting out really more than anything.
Well, you're certainly out from here. It's coming out beautifully, over.
Yeah, okay. About hello. About 8 or 9 watts at the moment, over.
Well, you're 8 and 9 watts. I'm sorry, but nothing more than about 10 over 9, over.
Oh, that'll do. Okay. I'm in Stoke-on-Trent, by the way, and then a call signs M0RDX, over.
M0RDX. Okay. What was the name?
Yeah, name's John, and I'm about, I don't know, just on the outskirts of Stoke, heading out towards the sort of, the top end, really, on your way out towards Leek and Staffordshire Moorlands, that way, over.
Okay, very good, John. Excellent. You're doing very well. And how much power did you say you were running? Did you say 5 watts?
No. Hello. Well, that's 10 watts, but it's talking about 5 or 6, I should imagine.
Oh, just 10 watts. Okay, 10 watts. Okay. Right. Does your rig have more than 10 watts?
Yes, it does.
Very good, okay. You're in good company. Just to go back, Tony. Tony, do you want to talk to John at all? M0RDX, over.
Yeah, I'll give John a report, no problem. M0RDX, M0VDO, very good evening. Tony in Leicester, that's in Herefordshire, and on the borders of Shropshire. You're about 10 dB over the 9 with me as well. John, back to you.
Yeah, you're 10, you're sort of skirting 15 to 20 over. Down in sunny Leicester, okay. I've been through that a few times on my way to South Wales. It's a windy road, but it's quite pleasant countryside to drive and ride through over.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yes, it is very nice. It's almost living here is like turning the clock back 10, 15 years actually. And I don't know how long it will stay like that for. And I'll say no more. But it's a lovely part of the world here, it really is. Here, Leicester, Herefordshire, and all the rest of it. It's very nice indeed. Idyllic countryside. And like I said, I could step back in time. How things used to be, John. Back to you.
Yeah, I think everyone's harking for those days. I was still there. I've lived in this village, all my life really, and I can remember the crossroads where I live here by the crossroads. On Sunday afternoons, nothing. You may get 4 cars on a Sunday afternoon. There was nothing, and it's just I don't know. I don't know where it's going. Either way, using an inverted V, by the way. I've been on a 6-metre contest this evening, and one leg of the inverted V comes onto the little tower that's on the back of the house. So I've got one leg of it. It's about it's going to be 40 odd feet in the air, and then goes up to the main tower, which is about 60 or 70 feet, and then up to the top of the garden, which again is about 30 odd feet. So it's quite up in free space over.
Well, it's working very well. 15, almost 20 dB at times here then with me. So it's working very well for you. Very, very well indeed. So this way, running an Apache Labs Alan 7000 DLE. Probably about, about 450, 500 on my peaks from an SP Expert 1.3 KFA. The antenna is a dual band double bazooka, so a good here on 80 and on 40. And that's in an inverted V as well. 40 feet to the feed point and about 25 feet on the end. So it just seems to work really well. I really like the antenna, I really do. It's just simple and gets out quite well, and very quiet on receive, very, very quiet, very impressed with it. So it's from America. Ultimax Antennas made it, but they I bought it off a chap called Dave, M0SKA. He didn't want it no more. I thought, well, I'll try one of those, and I've never looked back since. So there we go. Okay, John, I'll put it back to you, and I'll let you take it back right to Alan. M0RDX, M0VDO.
Yeah, those Alans, they're a beautiful thing, they really are. And more than anything, I think it's a filtering. It's just great, especially the way things are going now with noise. I think it's just a wonderful thing. But there we go. I think is it Alan? Excuse my ignorance. Is that correct? Alan, over.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah, I thought I'd forgotten your name and got the name wrong, over.
The name is Alan. Yes, that's right. It's Golf 4 Golf Papa Lima, John. Very good to hear you. There is a little bit of noise a bit of crackling, etc. On the band, but you're coming through and hearing you. Maybe a little bit more power would be helpful. It's not that you're not coming through, you are, but it's just that I've got this what appears to be like static in a way, but not. So I can't quite identify what it is. Tony, talking about hearing and setting up, the audio, etc. one thing with me is that, and I don't know if you found this as well. I don't know if you're into music and whether you listen to a lot of music, but I've been, as well as on listening and perfecting, trying to perfect one's system, that audio as we do. I've also been doing that and been ever since I can remember on hi-fi, and always trying to impress and get to improve it as you go along. Ever since from the point of my father was interested in hi-fi, and so I was brought up with it, it's been I've always tried to improve things, and I have, not necessarily with the latest equipment. I mean, the speakers that I have were designed and made. Mine were made in 1999. The ones that I've got, the B&W speakers, the main speakers, that is. And I actually went after those specifically because, and I only got them in the last couple of years or so, because I knew they were some of the best around, and the modern speakers that you buy are very good, but they're not big improvements. But these particular ones, the B&Ws, are quite something. But the point I wanted to make was that I find that hearing is one of these things which you get used to, and if you listen to music on whatever you're listening to on, I found that if I change the source, and in my case it's the hi-fi speakers, and then I've got also a very good quality Bluetooth hi-fi unit which produces a different type of sound. It's in a tube with a diaphragm in the tube, which produces a lot more bass response than you would think it's capable of when you see how small it is. But what I'm saying is, if you get fed up with listening to one kind of sound, and this is where this could be the case here in the ham radio section, you just need to even to change the speakers may provide that you're listening to, may even provide the difference that you want but no, I'll go along with what you said, Tony. I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm not going to change anything tonight, so that's for sure. Anyway, back to you, Tony, from G4GPL the group.
Not any better for you, Tony, over?
Oh yes, you're a lot stronger now. In fact, you weren't that weak with me before, but my God, you're strong. You're strong now. So yeah, very good. Yeah, well, Alan, I do like my music. I do, and I listen to all sorts. I was born in the 70s. My mother and father were keen. They loved music. Eagles, Roy Orbison, all the good stuff. Not the stuff we have today, the rubbish. Christ, I'm getting old. So I fancy saying the music today is rubbish, which it is. Anyway, but since when I was younger, I always had a desire to own. I didn't set the bar very high here, but Technics stack system. And I did have one when I was a little younger, but now as I've gotten older, I managed to acquire some separates, some pieces, and I now have a very nice Technics stack system. I think it's from about the mid-90s, I think some of it is. So there may be a couple of pieces that may be slightly newer, maybe the late 90s. But the very important pieces that I managed to acquire were the speakers, of course. And they are made by a company called Jammo. That's Julia Alpha Mike Oscar Jammo. A Danish company. Well, they were Danish. I don't know whether they've been bought out now by a company called Klipsch, which sounds very German to me, but they bought them out. But originally they were marvellous speakers. Now, these speakers stand probably about 3 feet tall. They have mid-range, 2 woofers, mid-range and tweeters in them. And it takes a good man to lift them. They're really, really well made. Proper wood was used to make them. So, yeah, you get a gorgeous sound from them. You really do. But And yeah, I mean, music great. I mean, I'm not so much into the into records. CDs for me, lots and lots of CDs, and I do listen to quite a lot of stuff now digitally, which is the way everyone's going, I suppose, isn't it? Spotify and all the other things. You pay for your subscription and you can get everything you want. You know, that special track you sort of remember from when you were younger, and you think, oh yeah, I'll see if it's on Spotify, and there it is. You plug your device into your stereo, you can play the music you want. So marvelous. So yes, I do like my stereo. I do have a nice stereo in the front room. My wife calls it the dust magnet, because you only have to sort of, if we're cleaning out the log burner of the fire and such, the dust that goes all over is unbelievable. So it does attract lots of dust, but it's worth the cleaning. I tell you, it's beautiful. Rain to you, John, with that rather large signal now. So I think you've turned possibly turned the linear on, or turned the power up a little bit. M0RDX, M0VDO.
Yeah, I've gone berserk and put the amp on for you. Hello. Yeah, about 300 watts now, or so. 4 watts to drive. There we go. So yeah, on about Technics, I've still got my system from the late 90s. I won't get rid of it. It cost a lot of money back then. Separate amp and preamp and top of the range CD player, as was the twin tape deck, which is now single tape deck, RSB 905, which now lives in the upstairs room because it's totally redundant. I think I played about four tapes on it. It's like brand new. Yeah, I've got twin amplifiers. You could buy wire them, so I got 2 of those big amps, and yeah, it's very nice. And I've got exactly the same system in the conservatory, only with a single amplifier though. They're a very, very rare beast. And as for speakers, I bought my own. Company called Richard Allen, fine old English make, all handmade speakers. You bought the components and you got on with it yourself. So my speakers have got 15-inch subs in them, and separate, obviously, mid and tweeters, and they're you can adjust the speakers from the front of the stereo also for tone and things. And they stand about, let me think now, 22 inches wide, and about 4.5 feet tall, and about 24 inches deep. So they're quite big things, over.
They are, goodness me. That's, by the way, your signal is terrific now, John. Really, really good. Incredible, your hi-fi system. Very impressive, with 15-inch, goodness me, 15-inch bass speaker. Well, you would need a big speaker with the size of that of the cabinet, wouldn't you? Gosh, that I don't think. If they do make anything like that now, it's unusual, because today it's sort of considered that most of the speakers around at the moment would not go up to that sort of 15 inches. I suppose I can't even remember any speakers. Most of the speakers I know come across are stand speakers for stand, and they're sort of around 6, maybe 8 inches, roughly speaking. And then for the bass response, of course, it's a subwoofer of some kind. So, but it's a bit the way things have gone, and you know, the system that I have is actually subwoofers and the Dolby's, you know, usual things, 5-6 speakers, etc., center speakers and rear speakers and front speakers, which are all, you know, part of it. It's only the one system, by the way. I don't have any more than the one. We've just got one room which is basically for that purpose, for watching TV and listening to music, and we do listen to a lot of music. But, you know, is there I can't remember the name of it actually now. I've not used it, but I've heard of it. But we've picked up a lot of music from various different sources through the years and put them onto hard disk. So we pick them up as we want to. CDs that we've got, which we no longer use. Well, we've got CD players. We've got tape recorders, you know, that sort of thing. But none of it now. Do we actually use? It's all on. It's usually MP3s and or FLACs, that sort of thing, all on hard disk now. That provide excellent quality, and we can. And I've also got a Raspberry Pi set up for something called Kodi, which allows you to operate from your phone and select what you want in the way of music. And that's what we've been doing now for quite some years. So that's how the system goes. So, John, I'm really interested to know what you're running with, because you're really coming in beautifully now with your 4 or 500 watts, and very curious to know what your setup is, rig-wise and microphone-wise. And if you want to, John, we've been talking about audio. I wonder if you would like to give me an audio report, please. M0RDX as a group, G4GPL.
Yeah, your audio is fantastic, honestly. It's very, very nice. Rounded. I don't mind toppy audio when I'm, in a pile-up and DXing. Don't mind it at all. I've been on the, as I say, 6-meter contest tonight. You'll put up with anything, you know. And you do, trust me. It can be hard work, especially a lot of these guys that get so on the noise. It's hard work. Anyway, I've got an old icon here, a 7700 with an as old Heil headset, just because it lets me just keep my hands in my pockets. I've got like a big hoodie snood thing, and there's a big fleecy pocket on the front, so I can sit here in the shack with my hands in my pockets, keeping warm. The noise is created by an OM Power OM 2000, which at the moment is 300 watts. When I'm looking at the meter, I'm talking, it's about a couple of hundred watts, but they're peaking about 3. And then the inverted V, which, as I say, it's fed at about 70 feet, and it comes down to about 40 feet on each end, I should imagine, 35, 40 feet. So there you go. That's about it, really, over.
No, very good, John. It's very nice, and the quality is very nice. What's the microphone?
It's an old Heil headset that I've had for ages. There's nothing spectacular here, I can promise you.
Okay, and it's nice and rounded and nicely, it's very, very pleasant to listen to. Hey, very good system. So, Tony, are we any more further thoughts on the Apache 5000? Sorry, on the Yaesu 5000, over.
Yeah, I've done my quota for today with it. I shall come back to it tomorrow. I shall sleep on it, as they say, and I'll make some more adjustments tomorrow and see what I can do. Of course, this evening the band. I don't know if you two have noticed, but there's quite a bit of rural type flutter on all our audios, to be honest. So I think there's been plenty of activity on the Sun, possibly not in our favour. I was doing quite a bit of reading about this cycle, and although the Sun's very active, it's not necessarily always in our bloody favour. It can take away as much as it can give. So anyway, yeah. So when I was tinkering earlier, I was listening and thought, oh dear, I can hear the auroral type flutter on the audio, so I'll leave things alone. So and I'm sure you're both hearing it as well. Maybe perhaps it's not as much as I am, but I'm definitely hearing it on both of you. John, lovely setup you got there, the 7700, marvellous old, big old girl. That is fantastic radio, aren't they? Many will say that's possibly of the bigger generation of radios from Icon was possibly their finest hour with regards to value for money. I know the 7800 was there, or 51 or whatever it was the flagship, but the 7700 was a marvellous bit of kit, wasn't it? and priced. It was never cheap. Let's be honest, it was never cheap, but it was reasonably priced compared to the other big boys, the 7800 range. John, back to you.
Well, the thing is, I remember that there was a contest group over in Saudi, and they bought about 5 or 6 of these for their contest club instead of 7800s at the time. I just think they're great, and I can put up with not having jewellery, Steve, and that's the only difference. The rest of it's the same. And they just built like a tank, so I love it. It's great. It's a fantastic thing to use. It's just a lovely thing, and it loops well. And if I was offered a 7800, well, I wouldn't have a 7800. They're too old now. 7851, possibly. But I have a penchant for the Kenwood 99, the 990s. A friend of mine's got one. It's just a lovely looking thing. But I like this, and it came at the right price. So there we go. There's another one for sale that the outputs have gone in, and it only does 100 watts out. However, I would use it just to transfer to 4 meters. What a travesty! I would just put it on 4 meters and 6 and leave it at that, because it would have enough drive for my 6-meter amplifier, and it'd just be on the output for the transverter for 4 meters, and I would just have the two together in the shack. I've just got enough room to get another one next to this on the shelf over.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah, wow. And something you mentioned there, which is really important, really, and that is the built like a tank. You mentioned it. Why is it? I don't know why. I suppose a cost thing, I suppose. But it's the same with a lot of older radios compared to some of the new ones. Not all, but ICOM in particular. Some of the newer stuff, the old wobbly knobs and dials and things. You think. You wouldn't be doing that with the 78s, the 77s, and the 76 either. The 7600 was a very well-made radio. And the ones before, slightly smaller than that, the models. But, yeah, some of the newer stuff, yeah, I think they just cut too many corners, didn't they, to try and save a few quid. And a lot of people did moan about that, didn't they? You know, you go to grab the volume button, you can wiggle him like a good few mil or more. Before that's not good really, but I suppose you have to question how long that might last, moving around like that. But there we go. Okay, I'm going to go round once more, you lads, and then it's fast approaching the witching hour. By the time I let things just sort of settle down here and switch off and go up and lock the shed up, because I haven't done that. I should have done that earlier, and I haven't done it yet. By the time I go and do all that, then it'll be time for me to get to bed and get up early in the morning and go and do a few lengths in the swim baths. Go swimming every morning. I try and keep fit, so I do try. G4GPL in the group, M0VDO.
Very good, Tony. Gosh, I didn't realise you were that healthy to be able to do that. Goodness, and you're up this late at night and you're going swimming every morning. Well, that's very good. I mean, it's wonderful. Wonderful to do that, to be able to do that, and also to benefit from it, of course. And do you know what? Even when with the tinkering that we do with our sound systems, etc., and just trying to affect things, when you need to really on the ball, and that's really what keeping fit is part of it as well. I've always been able to appreciate and to understand that the body needs to be physically in shape, as well as the mind, to get they work together to get things sorted out. It's always advantage. Yeah, very good. Just to go back again, I've just taken a picture of my card here, so that when I come back tomorrow morning, nobody in the night, whilst I've been sleeping, will be changing any of these controls. I can and I'll be able to prove that to myself tomorrow when I look at the picture and suddenly realise that it's not sounding as good as I thought it did. We'll see anyway. No way. Yeah, just to go back to hi-fi again. I'm sort of, I like all kinds of music, and I'm sure you do as well. So, but one of the things recently, we went to in St Albans, there is a cathedral there, and they have organs, these are pipe organs. And I've always been impressed with the pipe organ, and always thought what an amazing instrument it is. I mean, it literally, when we went to the concert, you just sat down and you were blown away by the sound that seems to be going round and round and round. The depth of it and the sort of you feel that you really heard something very special. It was said by I can't remember which composer, but one of them, was it Mozart or was it, I can't remember, said that it was the king of instruments because of what it can do, and it is amazing. Anyway, what I've been trying to do is to reproduce that sound in the hi-fi setup, but I'll talk to you about that at another time, Tony. I'll pass the transmission over to John, and I won't hold it for too long either. John, you're sounding really, really good at the moment. And back to you from G4GPL.
Yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, two things. Number one, knobs on icons. I was about to just say the same thing when, not this year, last year, we were at the National Hamfest over there, and ICOM had their big stand, and there was a 7610 there, and I got up to Chris, who's their service manager, and I said, what is going on here? I said, this is supposed to be your flagship radio now. I said, look at it. I said, I've seen better knobs on CBs. I said, I honestly, and I'm an ICOM man through and through. I've got a 7100 in the van. You know, I do a lot of stuff mobile. I've got a big amp in the van, blah-de-blah. And I couldn't believe it. And then you look at the older stuff, the likes of the old Yaesu 1000Ds and 990s, and they were aluminium knurled knobs, you know, just absolutely. It was beautiful to turn the things. And then you end up with these things now that are just, well, they're just horrible. You know, I mean, they look great and all the rest of it. And one of the worst things I've ever seen was that anniversary 7851 with all the gold knobs on that looked like it should have been in some gypsy's caravan. I could not believe that. Oh, my Lord. They don't know what they were playing at. And the other thing was the 15-inch subs. They don't make them anymore. They will repair them, but they don't make what we're looking for now, the casing for the magnet and everything anymore. They just don't do it. Richard Allen don't. The company's still going, but they don't make that speaker anymore. And regarding your reproducing the bass from your big organ, mine, the low frequency on mine will rattle the door flap on the front door. I got a big oak front door, and it'll rattle the thing with the door flap. So it's moving quite a lot of air over.
Yeah, that's right. It's lovely, isn't it? It's an amazing feeling when you're sitting down on the couch, which I do. And I've got a number of now recordings, first-class recordings, well recorded in the studios, or not in the studios, but in studio conditions. And listening to the organ playing and then feeling it as well. It's a wonderful experience, and it's taken me quite some time to be able to do that. I've always tried to achieve that sound and in the house itself, and I now feel that I've got it. But in my case, it's with a sub, a bass sub, and that really does the job beautifully. Anyway, interesting. Tony, I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow, and listen with interest to the progress you're making on the 5000. Just one question: does the 5000 have the amazing DNR that all the modern the one currently made rigs like the 101s and the CDX10 have? Does it still have that, Over?
Yes, it does. M0VDO returning with a final. Yes, it does. It has the DNR, the DNF, the DNR, and it works very, very well. I must say it's not a patch on the noise reduction 2 here on this Thetis software with the Apache Labs Yanan, but for its age, it's still very, very, very good. Very good. So yes, it does have DNR. And just to pick up where you said there, John, with regards to the build quality, yeah, very, very plasticky, very, it's just not nice, the newer stuff. I mean, look, I'll make this my final word on this, but ICOMs, for me, the 775 DSP, what a radio. Beautiful bit of kit. Made with a bit of passion, unlike today's plastic boxes. Anyway, lads, that's enough from me. 7-3, thank you both. Lovely QSO, very late in the evening. And Alan may catch you tomorrow if you're around, of course. And John, have a nice evening and take care. A G4GPL with M0RDX. This is M0VDO, just listening. 73, and thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen, and thank you for letting me comment. It's been great. And I hope our paths cross again in the not-too-distant future. You never know. I may be about. I'll probably migrate to 40 metres and go and harass the South Americans in a moment on there. Thanks again. Thanks for time. Bye-bye.
Okay, John. 7-3 to you, and 7-3 to you, Tony. Great to speak to you both, and we'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a great evening, and a good day tomorrow. So G4GPL signing clear, and thank you for this lovely QSO.
M0VDO now off and clear.
Good night, Tony, ON80I. Bye-bye from Belgium.
Oh, John. Very good evening. Good night, mate. Take care.
Yeah, talk soon. Bye-bye.
Can I just get a quick report in Belgium?
You can. This is John, ON8EI, over.
ON8EI, you're very loud. You're 5'9" plus about 15 here with me, nearly plus 20, over.
Yeah, and who are you, if I may ask, over?
Oh, I do apologise. My call sign's Mike 0, Radio Denmark X-Ray, over.
Yeah, and I've heard that call sign in the last few days. I believe it was you. But anyway, Mike 0, Radio Delta X-Ray, Oscar November 8, Echo India. You're 15 over with me, John, over.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I know. I'm on 10 metres quite a lot in the day, and occasionally 20, and then 40 in the evening. So I get about a bit, over.
Yeah, actually, John, I'm going to correct your signal report. My name is John, by the way. You're 35 over 9, over.
Oh, very good. Well, hello. About 300 watts into the inverted V. That's all I've got on here. Just a very simple antenna. About 70 feet as a feed point, and the legs come down to. I've got a little tower on the back of the house, which has got the 6 metre beam on. And I've wound it up tonight, so it's about 40 feet at that end, and about 35 or 40 feet at the other end. So it's quite flat, so it's in free space, over.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on this side, it's a dipole. One leg is at 22 meters. The other leg is at 4 meters, and the apex is at 16 meters, and the power at the moment is about 500. Over.
Yeah, very similar then, aren't we, really, what we're doing, really. Good heavens, it's okay. I'm having a bit of brain fog this time of night. I need to go and take the tablets. Can I just get your call sign again? Ocean Echo, was it again?
Negative, no. A little bit closer to you. Oscar November 8, Echo India, over.
There we go. Okay, John, thank you for that. It's all right. as life's going on, I seem to be getting more and more senior moments, and I'm just trying to embrace it, and I don't want to fight it because I think that may be the worst thing I could do. Over.
Yeah, and I hear someone else dropping in. Yeah, don't fight it, embrace it, and just let it roll because no, fighting is stressy. Over.
Yeah, I normally fold up like a piece of wet origami and either get a small glass of port or a Guinness. Over.
Yeah, okay, I'll put it back to you, John. I think another station called in. Over.
Yeah, he must be calling you, I think.
Yes, I am. O-N-A-E-I. G4GPL, John. Just a signal report and an audio report, please. Nice to speak to you, over.
Well, nice to speak to you and Alan, G4GPL, O-N-A-T-I. You're 25 over with me and yeah, you sound good, over.
Okay, can you just give me a more critical audio report if you wouldn't mind, if you can?
Yeah, I think that's more Tony's department. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but I'm dreadful for giving audio reports. No, I'll just say you sound fine, over.
No, that's good enough for me. Thank you very much, John, and thank you for the signal report. I think I'm going to close down, and nice to speak to you, and have a great evening, and have a great Friday from G4GPL.
Yeah, Roger, you're very welcome, and 25 over 9 in Belgium. Nice to hear you, Alan. I think it's for the first time. G4GPL, O-N-A-T-I. It's been a pleasure, Alan. Over.
Thank you, John. 7-3 to you, and I've already signed with you, so I'll catch up with you maybe another day. Have a great tomorrow. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye bye, Alan, and back to you, John. Over.
Yeah, okay, right, well, thanks for that. Well, I'm going to have a little tune around on here. I was threatening to go make a cup of tea about an hour ago, but I'm going to be stuck in the shack again. I can see it happening tonight, but I don't mind. It's quite pleasant in here now. But yeah, absolutely great to make your acquaintance, and it's nice. I don't get on 80 very often. I should try and get on it a bit more because it's quite nice at this time of the evening that, you can have some cracking conversations and with a lot of like-minded people, which to me is what radio's all about, John, over.
Yeah, Roger, yeah, it's very social. I like it. Do you know Gary, G0 Fox Whiskey X-Ray, over?
FWX. I don't know him. I think the call sign's familiar, but I can't say that I know him, over.
Yeah, Roger. No, because I thought you were talking to him, or maybe it was just I was listening on 10 meters, not today, or well, it's gone past today, but anyway, about 2 days ago, and Gary was on with his long antenna for 10 meters, over.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know. I run an M square on 10, 15, and 20, which gives me 6 elements on 10 on a 32-foot boom, and that's at about normally hovers between 60 and sort of 70 odd feet. So yeah, I've probably heard him on, or we've probably spoken at some point, over.
Yeah, Roger. No, I was listening to him, but I couldn't hear who he was talking to, over.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm quite noisy. I'm making a friend somewhere in Europe. He never gives me his call sign. He just keeps on appearing and telling me I'm splattering everywhere, and I know I'm not, because I talk to people straight after and say you just sound very, very good. So I don't know. Anyway, right, John, I'm going to go. I'm going to make this my final say. Thank you so much, and I'm quite amazed by your signal report with you. It's outstanding is all I can say, and very pleasing for me. O-N-8-E-I. Thank you so much for your time, and look forward to the next one. Hopefully I will be, once I have my medication, I'll be a little bit better in your head. M0RDX. Thank you so much for your time, John. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye to you, John. And yeah, I have the same radio as Tony, over.
Remind me, is it in Aran?
Yeah, the 7000, over.
Yeah, honestly, they do sound ever so well, you know, and I've looked at them, and they're just a nice thing, you know. I mean, my problem is I just like this old 7700, and it does the job, and I don't know. I just like it, and I don't know if you were listening before. Another one came up for sale, and it was only 1,500 quid. It was only doing 100 watts out the back, which I can live with. As long as it receives the same with this. I mean, I was very lucky with this. A friend of mine, G4GPL, owned this from you, and the screen went down on it, and he wasn't bothered because he just got it plugged into a PC monitor. So he just used it, and it was never ever transmitted on HF. He just used it to transvert to 2310s and above. On his microwaves, and I think he used it twice on 6 meters in all the time. So this thing had never ever been transmitted on HF till I got it, and even now it's never been given any grief because I just use the amplifier. So there we go. With that, to the house and a cup of tea. 018 M0RDX. Thanks again, mate. Bye bye.
Well, like yourself, I've been threatening for an hour to make a cup of tea, which I'm going to do as well. And I'm going to bring it back and another spin of the dial, and then it'll be time for bed. But I look forward to another conversation with you, John, another time. And if you hear me, call me. Mike 0, Radio Delta X-Ray, Oscar November 8, Echo India. Bye-bye from Belgium, John, over.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye, John.
Está corretto o corretto? Olha pá, e agora se querer para que